Hi everyone. Today I'm going to change out one of these. Okay, this is a propane carbon monoxide combination detector for the RV. It's an Atwood. I believe you can see the model number down there. It's got 3 wires coming out of it. 2 of them are actually going to be tied together. The only thing I got this from eBay, and the prices on this, like a lot of stuff, is just all over the map. We've got stuff over $100 for one of these things. This was 35 bucks, I think it was. When I opened it, I see this date on there. It says manufacture date November 2021. Well, these have a 7-year lifetime, so I might have lost a couple of years there. I don't know. We'll find out when I open up the old one here to see what the date is on that compared to the 2015 day this or the manufacturer date of this RV. But we'll check that out in just a second. Let me switch this. All right, so the first thing I did was I plugged in to shore power, and I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually be plugged into shore power and turn off your 12-volt system, which is right down here, and still use the outlets and so forth, but not using the 12-volt system. And I'm doing that so that I can have a light in here. I brought in one of the house lamps. So on ours, it's right down here, 12-volt system, shut off, main power. Now that's all off. You can see that went off there. So I wanted to say something about how this part comes off. Okay, so if you look here, this one has a similar thing. I've seen I read at least some feedback that says, you know, you have to bend these tabs down to get that to release from this from it. But the truth is, those tabs, I'll show you on the new one, those tabs, you look very closely, they have like a 45-degree plastic brace on it. That is not the part that's flexible. You can't flex those to save your life. So forget trying to push down on the top of that to get that to release. You're not going to be able to do it. The way it goes on is the flexibility in the trim piece itself. So you can see that I boogered that thing up. You basically have to try to flex the trim piece back off of it. Unfortunately, when you have it snapped into place and it's tight like this against this wood, it is so tight you can't get back behind it to pry it or anything. So my best idea was to take something very thin, and I was hoping I wouldn't break the tip, but I actually did. So if it breaks, that's fine. You still have the strength there. And you have to get back underneath that little part right there and pry it up enough that you can get one side to release. Now you can see I busted that one, so hopefully you won't have to take yours back off once you get it on ever. They just hook from the bottom. You know, there's the same type of hooks down here too, and it just hooks up from the bottom and then you snap them on. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I'll set this down, take this off. These have a 7-year life on them. They're supposed to give an end of life tone which you can apparently silence for 48 hours each time you press probably this button here, I guess. I didn't wait that long. This is a 2015, and there you go. It says 2014, November 2014 manufacture date. This is a 2015 Jayco Melbourne 29D Class C motorhome. That would have been about the time this vehicle was probably manufactured, so they put a new one in there. But I didn't get a new one from these guys from eBay, so maybe that's why it's 30 bucks, 35 bucks. All right, so you can see here it has just two wires coming from the camper that go to this, and the two that come from this are tied together inside this. So I'm just going to cut those off. And strip them. I usually strip a little more. I mean, when they send them from the manufacturer, I don't know what the deal is. They always have this tiny little thing stripped on the end. It doesn't ever seem like enough to me, no matter what it is I'm using or doing, whether it's a 120, high voltage wiring, or whether it's low voltage wiring. They don't really seem to strip enough for me. So on the new one, I stripped them about like that, because it gives you a little more bulk when you go to try to put your wire nuts on there, which is what I'm going to use. Okay, I already twisted these two together. So, and I like using some pliers to twist those a little tighter even, to make them like one. So I use that, kind of twisted it tight. But now I'm not actually going to twist. I've found that these stranded wires seem to work better this way, or even solid wires work really well if you just got two. If you got more than one, you can twist them all together. But if I twist this together, it doesn't seem to work as well in the wire nut, if you ask me. So I hold them near each other, twist them together. You can feel it's grabbing. All right. Now this one only has two wires. So in this case, I will twist them together. I hope that's all visible. Finish it up a little bit with my fingers. Put that wire nut on there. You can see it's got that little extra meat in there. And it kind of grabs better that way. It's really tight. All right. Now I'm just going to feed this back in there the way it was. And these holes should line up, I hope. Get yourself a square drive, although a Phillips will work on these. My camper's full of these combination square Phillips. I like the square drive. It's a number 2 square drive. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to test it before I put that trim piece back on there because, as I told you, that's a bitch to get off. Oh, excuse my language. So I'm going to turn that back on. It's powered up now. Let's see it going. I think that self-testing that it's doing as it's resetting takes a little bit. So rather than bore you with all those details, I'll just update you if for some reason this didn't work. So now I'm going to go ahead and snap this on there. Actually, what I want to do is make sure you get it oriented correctly. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's the same on both ways. It's just those would be upside down, those words, and that would probably drive you crazy and you wouldn't be able to sleep. So anyway, hook it underneath there, those little tabs that are right down here. Okay. Hook it right underneath those. See what I did there? Lean it in and feel how tight that was. Did you hear that? Oh my God. Hope I don't have to get it back off. All right. Well, I guess that pretty much does it. And good luck with that. If you got any questions, go ahead and comment. Take it easy.